comfortable here, we're going to dive deep into what is happening with this sun in Aries, with this Mercury retrograde, with this upcoming eclipse, May 5th. Gonna be really powerful. So if you can, get cozy, find a seat, get a nice beverage, sit back, and we are going to go deep with juicy nuggets that we need to plot our course, find our destiny, get on the right path, and then freaking get there already. So I wanted to first share with you some really great pictures from my birthday gathering on Sunday. I wish you all could have been there. A lot of my astrology clients and friends and students actually live in the area, and they got to come over and we get to talk astrology and look at, make beautiful flower bouquets and eat cake. And it was just so beautiful, such a feeling of love and friendship. And so without further ado, I want to welcome you, now that you've gotten to see the birthday celebration, to Sun into Aries, Mercury retrograde, all at the same time. So much happening. Aries is a fiery, dynamic sign. It part of the body is ruled by the head. It's a fire sign. It's all about new beginnings, pioneering, starting new projects. It's a go energy. It's an external energy. So you might be feeling awake and alive and starting to take action and move forwards, and you're growing and you're expanding. And then we had Mercury go retrograde. So there's interesting dynamic between having the sun and an action-oriented sign of Aries, ruled by the planet Mars, which we jokingly call in my astrology class the banana, because it's external. It's the sign of the masculine. It's the time of sign of taking action. So are you really feeling passionate and excited and inspired and fired up to take action? Yeah, well, that's natural this time of year. We just had this Mercury retrograde right at that moment of us really moving forwards and taking that action. So what can we do about it? How can we transcend it? Today's class, April 25th, 2023, we are going to go over Sun in Aries. I'm going to explain how we now have moved from 5 planets in a water sign, Pisces, which is all about the unconscious, the intuition, the emotions, the psychic senses, into all 5 signs in fire, which is all about taking action. It's more external, what that can mean for all of us in terms of our projects and what we're working on. And that Mercury retrograde, how do we balance all of this shift into like go time with a little bit of taking care of the past or past business? That's kind of how I'm interpreting it. We've got the lunar eclipse coming up May 5th, and lunar eclipses are really good for letting go of the past. They're really good triggers generally for our past, things in the past in our life that are ready to come up and release. Yeah. And so typically by whatever sign the eclipse, sun and moon will be, and how that affects your personal chart is how we will be able to discern which area of your life you might be having a big release on. Letting go of old and bigger, something better, something brighter, something more aligned to your soul. Because in my life, in my experience, I've noticed that whenever we let go of something, typically something even better comes to replace it. So we're going to go deeper into that today. We're also going to discuss the fact that Venus, the planet of love and finances, is going to be moving forwards into Gemini, and it's going to be happening on June 3rd. So sit back, relax. We're going to get into it now. As I said, Aries is fire. It's all about the warmth, the brightness of new ideas, the pioneering spirit, the decision to start something new. Aries is the ultimate pioneer. If you think about all of the people who came across the Great West, the great American continent to the West, all those pioneers, all those gold seekers and the land seekers, those that left what was familiar, that left what was comfortable, and they journeyed somewhere else. Aries is that pioneering energy that wants to move forwards. People who are Aries tend to be very driven by their purpose, very driven by their source guidance. There's no messing around for them. They know what they want. They're going to go for it. They could have indecision at times like any other human, but their tendency is to take action. And in fact, the challenge with Aries people is to slow down enough to plan, to slow down their role and kind of get more clear on what it is they want to create and how they want to go about creating it. So when the sun is in Aries, it's shining all this light on us taking action, becoming more active, pioneering, taking risks. Aries is the ultimate risk taker, loves to live life on the edge, loves to just have high octane thrills, go to the amusement park, scale a tree, climb a tree, scale a rock face. Aries loves to have adventures. It's a fire sign. Its symbol is the ram because it can climb those steep mountainsides, is fearless, is brave, is bold. It's ruled by the head. Aries people tend to be very passionate, confident, spirited. They're born leaders. They're self-motivated. So it's this time of energy this year where we really have this kind of take charge mentality. On the negative side, we can be tendency to be more irritable or angry, pessimistic, intolerant, impulsive, egocentric. So it's a balance like anything and riding that line. And here is a picture from Skywalk 2. I took it last night of the constellation Aries. And I just wanted to show you that according to Western astrology, the sun is actually in Aries right now, the constellation of Aries, as is Mercury and Uranus. And Jupiter, this incredibly big old planet here, is about to enter Aries in a couple of weeks. And I'll leave the date in the next video. It'll be about mid-May. Very powerful time as the sun and Jupiter come together again. All right, so Aries is a cardinal sign. There are many different, there's a fixed sign, there's a cardinal sign, there's a mutable sign, and it just kind of represents the type of energies of that sign. So cardinal means that the person who is that sign tends to be a leader, tends to be take charge, has their own internal guidance system. It is ruled by the root Muladhara chakra, which is why these people tend to be fearless, deeply connected to life. They feel an intense need to experience new things because the root chakra rules the connections with life and earth. So Aries people just are always out there experiencing life, connecting to life, really getting into it, right? Tasting and touching and feeling and climbing and learning and growing. It is also associated with the planet Mars, and Mars is all about courageousness, leadership, moving forwards, taking action. I always think of superheroes. So we got She-Ra, the Princess of Power. We've got Leolin. Someone please correct me. I know this guy's an awesome superhero. Got amazing superpowers. Lion Man, he's got a special name. So please comment below to just confirm his name for me if you wouldn't mind. And it's a really great time to be calling on our superpowers. What are our superpowers for connection, for creation, for starting new projects, for going forwards in our life and our mission and our purpose? Where can we hold up that sword of power and take charge of our life, take back the leadership, step forward, engage the forces of creation, and command I am into existence. It's such a powerful time. All right. So I didn't mention this earlier, but it took me 8 times to finally record this video. And I just kept being like, what is going on? Is this Mercury retrograde? Which of course I'm sure it is. What is going on? And so finally last night I recorded the first version and I finally got what was going on. There is an aspect right now that is so powerful that I just have to share it with you. So here's a picture of the constellation Aries and the sun in Aries, Mercury and Uranus, and this thing. What the bleep is this? This is why I really recommend you get Star Walk 2 on your phone. It's really amazing. You can turn it on and all of a sudden you will have access to the night sky and you'll be able to see the constellations. and you'll be able to see what sign the planets are in. And you just have it on your phone and you can scroll around and just see, oh, here's the sun in Aries, or here's Mars in Gemini, etc. And it's just so cool. And so I did that last night. And here we go. We have Satis, this huge constellation here. We've actually been in Satis for, see here, if we can crop this anymore. I want to show you how big this constellation is. Yeah, so this is not all of Satis. Satis is huge. Satis is literally called the sea monster. And when I first discovered that Satis and the sun were sort of near each other, was right around the time we had a cyclone, a crazy cyclone in my area. A branch came through the house and I was like, what the bleep, right? So I was looking at my phone and I'd been trying to piece together, what is this energy? What is happening that I'm sensing? Because in general, if I feel something and I can identify what it is, typically after that, there's a release. I don't know if you've noticed that. And so a big part of coming to clarity is just the realization of the information of, okay, well, what am I sensing? What am I feeling? And I was like, what is it? I can feel it. And it's this huge sea monster. And Satis actually has a story. Satis, unlike most of the constellations, is actually named after a Greek mythology, a story. And so I thought I would share with you the story of Satis, because the sun is right near the head of Satis, and Aries is ruled by the head. Like the part of the body associated with Aries is the head. So how interesting that right now we're near the head of a sea monster constellation. So I thought, well, why don't I share this story with you? Because maybe many of us are going through some kind of a story similar to what Satis could represent, the sea monster. So here is Satis, and the story is this. You can see this beautiful woman here on the rock. Her name is Andromeda, and she was the princess of Ethiopia, and she made a bold claim. She claimed that she was more beautiful than all of King Neptune's sea nymphs. And of course, being like all the Roman gods, Neptune was furious. And so he sent his greatest sea monster, Satis, to imprison Andromeda and to destroy her village, destroy her kingdom in Ethiopia. Well, as luck would have it, Perseus, one of the greatest heroes of all time in Greek mythology, who actually ends up being the grandfather to Hercules. There's all these great family lines in Greek mythology. And he falls in love with Princess Andromeda, because of course she's beautiful. And he saves her from this evil sea monster. I don't know if he's evil. He's just a sea monster, right? Sea monsters do what sea monsters do. And he saves Princess Andromeda from the sea monster. And then he takes her to Greece to become the Queen of Greece. Wow. So I felt like there's a really beautiful moral of this story, which is that, are you dealing with a monster? And that monster could be anything from fear to, pain or loss. But is there something in your unconscious that you've been battling for a long time? And is it kind of reaching ahead right now, right? Because we're at the head of the sea monster, right? So if you are, I want to give you some words of encouragement that no matter what it is that you're dealing with, just like there's the sea monster that they're dealing with, you have the power to defeat it. And it may come in the form of other people who show up who are going to freaking help and support you. Or maybe you're going to discover your own inner superhero and slay the demon yourself. But the moral of this story is that once you slay that demon, you're going to be victorious. And so there could be something coming that you can't even see yet on your radar screen. Something so magnificent, so beautiful, and so enchanting that's even better than what you were doing originally. and will be even more exciting and more thrilling than you could even imagine. Because not only did Andromeda go through this fear and she thought she was going to die and it was all over, but then she's rescued by the handsome hero. She's carried away to Greece and she gets to become a queen. So perhaps whatever this issue is you're dealing with, the moral of this story is maybe there's actually an amazing ending waiting for you. Maybe there's going to be a transformation just like beyond your wildest dreams. And you're just simply going through the last levels of dealing with the challenge, and you're going to defeat it, and you're going to have the help and the support that you need to defeat it as we move forwards. And what's interesting is that there's a full moon in this picture, and we're approaching a full moon eclipse. And I wonder if after the full moon eclipse is when we're going to see some resolution of whatever this challenge is that we've been dealing with since maybe mid-March, as I would guess when it started. So as we defeat this issue, as Mercury retrograde ends, we're going to feel like this. We're going to feel like charging forwards, because right now our horses may want to charge forwards, but because of Mercury retrograde, we might be still kind of dealing with some loose ends. So how do you deal with Mercury retrograde? Well, Mercury retrograde is best done by doing all the RE words: redo, reset, rejuvenate, reinvent, reactivate, renew. Are there people you need to get in touch with that you've been putting off? Are there projects you need to take care of? Are there things you just haven't had time for, but now all of a sudden there's a gateway opening up and it's like you just get to do the thing you've been meaning to complete? That is what this time is so super good for. Be very careful with travel, because Mercury retro is in Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is in the sign Gemini, which is the sign of travel. So be very careful with your travel plans, with social media, with marketing, with emailing. Be careful when you're contacting and social networking. I just went through like a huge thing with my own email list. If it affected you, I'm so sorry. Be very careful right now. This Mercury retro is really strong this time around. So just really be careful, dot your I's, cross all of your T's, and, you know, maybe do a little investing and a little bit of networking or business support right now, because with that Mercury retrograde, it might be a good time to get more support for the projects that you're working on. So with that said, I also want to encourage everyone to please wear your hat, please wear your sunglasses, please be careful in the sun, because the head is the part of the body that Aries rules. It's going to be hotter than normal. You're going to just feel like you're in the sun, and it's like, gosh, your head might get hot more easily, especially if you're in Aries, I've noticed. Mint, cucumber, and lime are really great natural cooling herbs that you can help to cool your body down, to reduce excess heat. I absolutely love these flavors at this time of the year. And, you know, Mercury retrograde is really about just reassessing. Where can I be a better leader? Where can I do more in communication and in connection? How can I be more courageous? You know, making mind maps like this, where you're really just kind of resetting your compass for May 15th, when Mercury retrograde finally leaves us and we're feeling a little bit more free. We're feeling like taking action. And definitely get some rescue remedies. Have you ever heard of this before? This is a homeopathic. Homeopathic means they take several ingredients, mainly flowers. They shake it, or it's called succussit, which is shaking the water with the extract of the flower several hundreds of times. And then in this case, the pastels are like sugar and some cranberry flavor and flower essences. And they're really good for helping if you're going through any stress or tension, to help calm your nervous system and bring you back to center. I also want you to put on your calendar a date, June 3rd. Mercury, the planet of communication, will be forward moving. It'll be out of retrograde. and it's going to conjunct Uranus exactly. And Uranus is big change. It's lightning bolts of inspiration. It's exciting energy. It is electric, for lack of a better word. And so I think something really powerful could be happening at that point. If you have a business, that might be a really great networking opportunity where you could just have so many people come and something electric could happen, and exciting. And so really put that on your calendar. We're also dealing with this really beautiful aspect between Vesta, the asteroid of devotion, and the north node of the moon in Aries, and the sun. And so the sun, the north node, and Vesta all came together over the weekend. And I felt like this was creating this incredible activation of alignment to purpose, like this incredible inspiring energy of us really aligning and just being like, I am called to my destiny. I am called to my purpose. I always envision Vesta as being the goddess in the temple, tending the hearth fire of devotion, connecting to her heart, connecting to her soul, and being called to activate her vision, to bring it into fruition, and to create the destiny, the life, the reality that she wishes to have. And it's in the sign of Aries. So are you feeling called to step more into leadership? Are you being called to guide, to lead others, to lead forwards in some type of new form of marketing or networking or business? Is there some aspect that you're working on really sharing your gifts with the world? North node is your destiny point. I love reading people's north nodes and their astrology charts because it's just such powerful information. So if you want to know your destiny, look up your north or south node. If you want to have a reading based on the True the Stars system, it's a little more challenging to get those charts out there. Please schedule a session with me. I'd love to help support and guide you on that information. But really, our purpose is coming together here, my friends. We're really being guided to connect to who we are, to move towards that purpose. Even if Mercury is retrograde, we're still being called. We're still being activated to get in touch, to activate that purpose, to move towards it. We're not going to have, there's going to be too much forward momentum. Just be careful, right? Align to your soul, right? This is the number one message I want to give you all, to leave you with. Sun has gone into Aries, the head. We might be more open to information and guidance, to the stars. We just had the Lyriad meteor shower, April 21st through the 23rd. There's stuff happening energetically, astrologically, all around us. The earth is waking up. Energy is moving. How do we find balance in the midst of all of this? I highly recommend exercise meditation. So what do I mean by that? I'll find a really good stretching video. I'll put it on out in nature. I'll stretch. And that's my meditation. I try to really get into my body, really feel each pose, really sense each shape. And that really helps me to get in touch with myself, with what I'm creating, with the vision, with the world. And it's just such a beautiful energy of activation. So what would you like to create? What would you like to vision? Remember this image, remember this connection. You are the creator of your life. What do you want to create? I wanted to share with all of you that I do psychic channeling along with my astrological readings. And it's really funny because it's taken me maybe 10 years to finally admit this publicly. And I've just done readings because it's easy to say I do astrology readings, but someone finally reminded me the other day, they're like, you know, Lotus, your readings are so accurate, partially because of you. And I was like, oh, wow, you're right. And I realized I've kind of been hiding the fact that I do psychically channel information. I haven't really been owning it. And so I wanted to get on here and just own it today, that I do channel guidance from source for my clients. And that's actually what brings me the greatest happiness, is getting to be a conduit and a channel from the higher self, the higher realms, to you, of who you are, what you're here for. And I love giving that guidance. It's such a gift and it's such a blessing. And I really feel like that is why I'm on this earth, is to serve as a guide and a conduit for love and for healing. So if you're looking for that kind of support and that kind of guidance, please reach out. I'm so happy to share it with you. And if you're also interested in learning astrology, as well as learning how to tap into your intuition, connect to your heart, and to read a chart from your heart, I'm going to be leading a 8-day class. It's going to be once a week. And it's going to be so beautiful because the group is going to connect. We're going to clear energy. We're going to clear blocks. And we're also going to really go deep into how to read an astrology chart as easily as possible, as quickly as possible. And I'm going to be working as a bonus individually with each person to make sure that you are getting the lessons, that you're clear on what's being presented, that you know what's happening. So make sure that we're all on the same path, we're on the same track. I'm so super excited to share this work with you. I am hoping for at least 12 people to join my group so that we can be 13 people for the 13 sign astrology. It's going to be starting sometime May or June, depending on when we get all the people together and we're all ready to go. So please message me if you're interested in joining us. I'm really excited about this. My last course was amazing. It became like a family. And it's so exciting to be teaching you a skill that you can turn into a business, a remote business that you can operate anywhere from in the world. And it's so needed. So many people need guidance right now and direction and clarity and a purpose about who they are, about where they're headed, what they're creating, to help this planet, to help everyone on this earth to be happy, to be free, to be living the life of their dreams. And it's just so beautiful to be coming to you live from nature and to assist and guide your soul back to the light, back to the source, back to who you are, what you're here for. And so I send you all so much love, so much light. Thank you so much for being here today. If you have any questions, if you'd like to get in touch, you can reach out. Find me at blossomwithlotus.com or email me at blossomwithlotusnow@gmail.com. And I send you so much love and blessings from this forest, from the sunlight, from the redwood trees. They're literally transmitting such healing energy today. So I send you so much love from my heart this beautiful day. Aloha.